Hello and welcome to the van build vlog. I wasn't really sure what to do with these bits of plywood I've been cutting for the tops over there, but as you can see I eventually decided to stain them a mahogany brown, and then I've put several coats of ultra tough varnish on top. It's supposed to be knock resistant and water resistant. It's come out nice and smooth and quite shiny, and I'm quite pleased with it. However, I can't fix those down until I've sorted out what goes beneath them, but I can fix this one into place, which goes across the back there. I've made, hang on, this might not work. I've made a hole in it, can you see there? That's for the control panel for the Propex heater as demonstrated in the last vlog, and it will just screw on there, and then this piece goes across the back. So I'll have a go at that. And there it is, gluing in place with the aid of 1,000 clamps. Looking quite smart, I think. And there's the tow controllable heater control on the end, with the wiring all behind that panel. I've just drilled the holes on the countertop for the sink unit to screw into, but because I'm only using a 12mm ply, the screws are far longer than that, so what I've done here is just, hang on, where's the other bits? There we go. Glued some extra bits of wood on the other side to give the screws something to bite into. Time to fix the sink in, and although I've mentioned these before, I don't think I showed them. These are the fixings that hold it in place. For each hole there is a screw, a little metal cup thing, and a black rubber cap. So for each of the 6 holes I have slightly drilled out the size of the hole such that this metal cap can just drop into place, and then the screw screws through that and pulls the sink unit down by pulling on the edges of that cap. And then when you have done that, you just top it off with the little rubber bit, and the result is something that looks like that one. I've started putting together a box which will hold the electrical bits, so that includes charger, inverter, solar controller, switches, fuses, that kind of thing. And as I think I've described before, that goes in this corner. It does intrude a little way into where you come in, but it's not the full width like the seat is. It comes up to about there, so it's not too bad. I've lashed out on really good quality gear. I've got this Victron stuff on the boat, and it's not cheap, but it is good stuff. But this inverter, just a little inverter, just to power a laptop or something if I ever want to. I doubt I'll use it very often, but I thought I'd better have one. But what a silly bit of design. You see where the mounting feet are? So whichever orientation you put this, you're going to be screwing through those into a surface of some kind. And on the end there is the socket. I don't know if that's even showing up. There we go. There's the socket for you to plug your appliance into. But look at the orientation of that plug. If you're not familiar with UK plugs, the wire off the plug always comes out the bottom. So that's going to go in there, straight into whatever mounting surface you've put it on. It doesn't matter how you do this, that wire is always coming out downwards. Hence, I'm about to experiment with little stilts to put the thing onto, so that the wire has enough space to come down and out. Really, that socket needs to be the other way up, so that's daft. You see, there it is with the plug plugged in and nothing underneath it, and it's being held up by the twist in the wire. Now that puts slightly less strain on the wire, but it's still not brilliant. And even with the battens turned on their longer side, it's not ideal. I mean, you could get away with that, but it's not ideal. It needs to be just a little bit taller, I think. I've come to a point in the process which I have been dreading for a very long time, and that is
cutting holes in the bottom of the van, both for the gas dropout vent in the gas locker and also the exhaust and air inlet holes for the heater. Now you might think, oh, this should be easy. I've drilled a hole in the roof of the van, I've drilled holes in the side of the van, I've drilled holes in the back of the van to put the windows in. But I'm a lot more scared about doing this one than I was the other ones because, well, under here is all kind of structural. It's holding the van up, and if I start putting holes into it, it just seems a lot more scary than any of the other holes. You've got chassis members under here. Well, there's a spare tyre, but I can avoid that. And there's odd little square box sections that I can't see what purpose they're serving, but they were clearly put in for something. And the other question, of course, is measuring. Everyone happily says, oh yes. They nod their heads sagely and say, measure twice, cut once, or indeed measure many more times. But when you're trying to measure what's happening in the van and then correlate that with the underside of the van, where there is no single point of reference that is common to both, because the bumper is curved, so when you try and measure it from the bumper, it's different on the underside than it is on the top side, and it's all just a nightmare. And the notion of drilling through and seeing the drill come out not where I was expecting it is just horrific. Now, having said that, I think I have identified the location for the gas heater holes, and I think if they come out in the right spot, I'll be able to reference from them to where the gas dropout vent in the locker can come out. So there's nothing for it, I've got to just give it a go.
Okay, it's about 2 minutes later. I couldn't bear to film the actual drilling because, well, I was just too tense. But I haven't used the full hole saw, obviously. I've just started off with a pilot drill. And as you can see, there is a hole exactly in the middle of this little corner section where I want the exhaust or air inlet for the heater to come out. Let me show you where it's come out underneath. It may not mean much to you, but for me this is an absolute triumph. It's come out exactly where I wanted it, right in the middle of that indent in the floor, halfway from the side of the van over there to the little sticky down bit. Little sticky down bit there, so it's a bit cramped filming here. There's a bit of metal which randomly sticks down there, and there's the side, and it's smack in the middle, and that is exactly what I wanted. So I just need to drill the other pilot hole now, which will come out a little bit further forward, sort of here-ish, and then I need to expand them to full-size holes. And yes, obviously touch them up with paint and stuff so they don't rust. Second pilot hole successfully drilled, and there it is. It's the one at the top, looking from this angle. The really scary part is enlarging those holes with this. Needs must. Well, as Scooby-Doo was prone to saying, yikes! Or was it Shaggy? Or both of them. Anyway, you know what I mean. That's actually like through to the ground. There's the ground. Look at that. Double yikes. Now the good news is that this little vent, it's notionally sold as a gas drop vent, but I'm using it really to line the hole. I'll cut a suitable gap in that for the hose to go through. So it's really just lining the ply and metal and everything else. The good news is it goes through the hole. The bad news is I was clearly holding the drill not completely vertical, but at a very slight angle. So if you try and drop it in flat, it doesn't go. It's going at an angle. Let me show you. There. So it won't be flush flat against the floor unless I slightly recut the hole, but I think it's going to be such a marginal difference that I'll just end up making a mess of the hole. So I may have to stick with that and try and do the next one more vertically. That is the peril of drilling in a confined space. For interest, that is what it looks like underneath. I don't know whether to cut that off to make it flush with the bottom of the van or just leave it as is. I don't think it matters really. I will, as I say, paint round the bare metal and I'll go round that whole edge with sealant, so
It can probably stay like that, to be honest.
Well, there we go. The second one is now in. It's fractionally off flat, but not so much as for me to worry about. It's certainly nothing like the first one. And now I need to make little holes in the grills there and then poke these hoses through. You know, I've been on a bit of an economy kick in recent weeks because the van is simply costing me so much money. And I've run out of gin and tonic, and for the last couple of weeks I have not gone out and refreshed supplies, but I think, surely, having done that, I deserve a large G&T, and though I ought to be allowed to go out and buy some. To hell with the budget. I have now ladled paint onto the exposed metal, and that can sit there and dry for an hour or so, and then I can push those vent things in just to keep the holes well, not exactly closed, but stop any big insects coming up, I suppose. The point about having done those two is that they now form a fixed point of reference above and below, which I can use to work out where in this square the gas locker drop vent can be, because the gas locker is going here. But under there you've got that box section, at least it's sort of here-ish. And I was hoping to drill straight into the box section or behind the box section, but very hard to calculate without something that shows you what is what above and below. And now I've got those two, I can make everything with reference to those. But I think I'll do that another day. That's enough for one day. A few days later, and I've bought some new bits for the heater system. Firstly, this slightly longer length of exhaust pipe, because the one I had at 3/4 of a metre just wasn't quite long enough, and that's a metre long, which should be fine. And secondly, these 90-degree silicon rubber high temperature adapter things, where that bit sticks onto the spigot coming out of the heater unit and then obviously turns through 90 degrees, and that's just going to make the exit for the pipes a bit easier, because at the moment they're dropping straight down. You can't really see it from there. Hold on, I'll try and go in a bit closer. Right, you can't really see it from there, but they're just dropping straight down on the spigots, and then the pipe has to do a sharp turn coming out and then another sharp turn to go down through the holes. So with the little 90-degree joint things, it should make that path easier, and I should have to put less stress on the pipes. There we go, that's the exhaust pipe with its heat shielding wrap going in there, and you may or may not be able to see that it then just goes through its little bend straight upwards into the heater unit. There's hopefully just enough space, if I move that light, hopefully just enough space to get the air inlet one on that other spigot. It's all a bit tight. Well, that was a lot more fiddly than I anticipated. Trying to screw on Jubilee clips on those hoses somewhere up there where you can't actually see what you're doing, and it didn't matter if I put a torch, you just can't actually get your head round there to see what you're doing. So it was all a case of just feeling it with a spanner and tightening up the clips. But those two pipes are now securely in place and disappearing through the floor as they're supposed to. The added bonus of having those two exit through those vents, I don't know if you can quite see it, but there is a little gap around the pipe where it's just free venting to the outside, and that means I've effectively got, admittedly very small, but a couple of extra drop vents to the outside, bearing in mind that there's a gas connection going into the heater unit here, so there'll be a loop of pipe. That's effectively a mini dropout vent for any leaks from there. So that's good. Certainly that pipe, again you may not be able to see it, let me zoom in a bit, has a fair bit of free space around it for any, that's better, any leaking gas, were there to be any, can drop out there. Plus, of course, for the benefit of people who've started writing comments already, there will be other dropout vents. There's going to be one in the gas locker and probably one under the kitchen sink hob unit as well. There are the pipes coming out underneath, so I just need to bolt them so that they're not pointing directly at each other. Job done, I think. Meanwhile, drilling holes in the bottom of the van is becoming a bit of a sport now, something of a hobby, because I've just drilled another one, as you can see there, and that is the gas dropout vent for under the hob. And it's going to be out of the way. This is behind the tambour door, so there's food storage here, and then the heater hose comes down here, and this is just going to be behind it. And that means that you won't be able to store things here, so nothing will ever get put on top of the gas drop vent to block it. And yet it is in that compartment, so any gas should drop through it. So I'm hoping that's all right.